Worry about being liked by the wrong people? Don't. The right people will like you for being yourself.
It's the final round of a National Spelling Bee Championship for those 65 or older. You've been asked to spell the word pneumococcal. You panic slightly because your age means you're at higher risk for the disease, but also because, well, you have no idea how to spell it. It's okay, nobody does. You ask the judge to use the word in a sentence. They say,
Pneumococcal disease can cause many types of illnesses, the most common being a lung infection called pneumonia.
You gulp nervously and ask for the word's origin. The judges say,
Pneumococcus is a bacteria that can cause other types of infections, such as ear infections, sinus infections, and meningitis.
A bead of sweat drips down your forehead. You ask them if there are any ways to prevent pneumococcal disease. The judges reply,
Yes, there's a vaccine available for adults 65 or older that is good for preventing severe pneumococcal disease.
You take a deep breath and go for it.
Pneumococcal. Pneumococcal.
After an overly dramatic pause, you are announced the winner. The audience cheers. You decide to celebrate your victory by talking to your healthcare provider about getting the pneumococcal vaccine today.
I said, what's up, my good relatives? My name is Christian Parrish, Takes the Gun, aka Superman. I'm a hip-hop artist, I'm a fancy dancer, a flute player, I'm a father, I'm a husband. I got 3 beautiful kids and 2 ugly ones. Hey, just kidding. Shout out to Good Health TV. You know, you might be in a waiting room, man. Your arm's broke. You might have broke your arm. You know, you're hitting that drum on the honor beats too hard and you busted it. Hey, or maybe you're pinching your throat, man, too, you know. And you pinched it too hard and you're trying to hit that high note like Northern Cree. Hey, whatever it is, man, you're sitting there watching Good Health TV. We want to talk to you today about substance abuse, you know. We look around our families, we're all, you know, a lot of our relatives are struggling, you know, with substance abuse. You go to every reservation, you'll see this, you know, this is happening all over the place. You know, we see this substance abuse on our reservations because of what was done. Colonization, you know, has done us in. We're wounded in our spirits, man. And so we're feeling that historical trauma even today. And that's why we see alcohol abuse, drug abuse, substance abuse. That's why we see that, because it's an escape from the reality, you know, of dealing with that historical trauma and what was done to our people. And it's up to us today to raise that mentality, raise that standard back up, man, to living free, to living a healthy and free life. And so I encourage you, go in that direction, man. Not only for yourself, for your family, for the next generations that are watching you. All these young people, our nephews, our little cousins, little brothers and sisters, they're watching you. They're seeing what you do, how you live your life, man. And if you start living good and you become sober, It's going to start a ripple, a chain reaction of good medicine. Good medicine is going to start flowing in your life. You get rid of those negative friends. You get rid of those negative environments. Reach out to somebody, talk to somebody, a relative, a medicine man, spiritual advisor, pastor, whoever it is. Somebody who's not going to judge you, who's going to support you in the positive decisions that you want to make for your life. Reach out to them. There is no shame in asking for help. And maybe if you don't want to talk to anybody, call this number. Call this number right there, SAMHSA. That's the helpline. Call them up, man. They're waiting for you, and they want to help you get to where you want to be in life. So with that, I'd like to thank you for listening, watching this, man. And go out there, create the best possible life for yourself and your family. It's possible.
Keep on praying when everything stays the same, and I pray for the past.
Hey, my name's Zion. Tell me about yourself.
Hi Zion, my name is Vinny. I'm an enrolled member with the Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara Nation, and I also work for the Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara Nation. I have two current positions. One, I work at a child safety center, and two, I work in the evenings at our local community college teaching social work classes.
What types of social workers are there?
Well, there's lots of different social workers and different social worker positions and roles. You could work in the medical field, you can work in the education field, you can work with children and families, you can work with elderly, you can work in hospitals, anywhere, any kind of medical field you can think of, there's social workers needed to work with people.
How did your career in social work begin?
When I was younger, when I think about middle school and high school years, I saw professionals or adults, that were doing these jobs, and I always imagined that none of these jobs are going to be available when I'm older. Why would I want to go for that? I had dreams of, playing basketball as a professional goal of mine. Like I wanted to be like Michael Jordan, I wanted to follow those footsteps. I mean, we get older and we start, developing ourselves as a person, and you kind of realize that these goals are achievable, and some of the things that you do in your everyday life are already kind of at a core value of social work.
How can students in middle school start their path to a career in social work?
First and foremost, I think students that are thinking about their future and thinking about social work are awesome people already. Going into the field of social work is by no means a walk in the park. It's not easy, but it is rewarding. It is already something kids are doing, networking and advocating for their friends and family.
Great information, Vinny. Thanks for sharing with me. See ya.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. You sitting there. Do you want to win a $25 cash card by answering some questions about Good Health TV? Who doesn't? The first 100 people to take the survey will be winners. Visit bit.ly/GHTV survey right now. Yes, now.
I was abusing prescription opioids. I remember thinking that it was from the doctor, so it was okay. I had hit my bottom. I had backed away from my culture when I was in active addiction. And then when I had fully become in my recovery is when I was like, this is who I am. This is my culture and I'm gonna practice it. There was a lot of healing with it, and I'm gonna carry it on and teach it to whoever I can teach it to.
Visit cdc.gov/RxAwareness or contact your local health provider.
Since the beginning of the pandemic, parents have struggled with how to talk to their kids about COVID-19 in a way that is honest but doesn't cause fear. Here are some helpful tips on how to have these important conversations. First thing, don't be afraid to talk about it. Our kids hear about COVID-19 every day from friends, the news, school, not to mention everywhere they go, they see people in masks. This is a strange world for them to understand. Try to start a conversation about the pandemic and see where it leads. You may have to ask questions like, what are you hearing at school? And be ready to correct misinformation. While you're talking, you can reinforce things about how COVID-19 spreads and the importance of hand washing and mask wearing. Reassure them about all the things that are being done to stop the virus, like vaccine development, and how doctors and nurses are working hard to keep everyone healthy. It's a good idea to limit how much news about COVID-19 your children watch. Let them know that not everything they hear or read is correct, and that you'll be there to give them answers they can trust. And remember, your kid is just that, a kid. It's okay to be truthful and acknowledge that this has been a hard time, but try to protect their childhood and encourage fun. Find time in each day to spend family time that has nothing to do with the virus. Your kids look to you for hope. Make sure you provide it to them. For more information on talking to your kids about COVID-19, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19.
Every day, your kidneys process 200 quarts of blood to remove 2 quarts of waste products. The waste products become urine, which is stored in the bladder. If the kidneys don't remove the waste, it stays in your blood, damages your body, and can lead to death. So take care of your kidneys. The 2 biggest causes of kidney disease are diabetes and high blood pressure. So see a doctor to keep them under control. Because it takes kidneys to live a full, happy life.
Bonjour. My name is Lisa Martin, and I am a member of the Lac du Flambeau Band of Chippewa Indians in northern Wisconsin. We have a shortage in nursing for a variety of reasons. We especially need American Indian men and women who are interested in nursing. American Indians continue to be the group within our country who have the lowest ratings in terms of health and the greatest challenges. Something that we've found promising most recently is the greater number of American Indian nurses we have, the better to help bridge the Western medical view and the American Indian view, which is a circular, holistic, more dynamic view. American Indian nurses play a very unique role in bridging those 2 viewpoints for American Indian patients, families, and communities. So they're very needed. American Indian young people bring a world of experience that is greatly needed in healthcare. I would want to encourage them to think strongly about all they could bring from their life experience to this career.
Colorectal cancer, the one cancer no one likes to talk about and the one with many misconceptions.
Like it's a cancer only for men?
Or it's the one with the uncomfortable tests.
There are many reasons why I put off a colorectal cancer screening.
Like if I don't have any symptoms, I don't need a screening.
A colonoscopy is too painful.
It's embarrassing to ask my doctor about.
But no matter how many reasons I could come up with to put off a screening.
My family made all those other reasons disappear.
Colorectal cancer is one of the leading causes of death in American Indians.
And so many people aren't getting screened because of fear, embarrassment, and indifference.
But this is something that affects everyone.
Men
and women.
Turns out colorectal cancer often doesn't show symptoms right away.
Only a screening can catch precancerous polyps in the colon early, preventing the cancer from forming in the first place.
And there are different types of colorectal cancer tests, including ones you can do at home.
There is no excuse for why we shouldn't get screened for colorectal cancer.
And many reasons why we should.
Be there for your loved ones.
Talk to your doctor about a colorectal cancer screening today.
Let's talk about HIV prevention. Those of us at high risk for getting HIV through unprotected sex or injecting drugs need to know about PrEP. PrEP is a safe and highly effective medication that can help prevent HIV. When taken consistently, PrEP can reduce a person's risk of getting HIV through sex by 99% and by more than 70% for people who use injection drugs. If you're at risk for HIV, it's time to make prevention a priority. Talk to your healthcare provider to learn whether PrEP is right for you.
I'm Oglala Sioux from Pine Ridge. Secondhand smoke changed my life dramatically. I'm not active anymore when I used to be. When I used to dance at powwows competitively, when I wasn't sick with this illness, I could dance, several songs. As compared to now, it takes so much to recuperate. It takes so much time to recuperate. And I attribute all that to the secondhand smoke exposure. When I can't catch my breath, it's like breathing through a straw. You can't get enough air. No matter how much you try, you can't get enough air. I see friends that I used to dance against, and some of them don't know how sick I am, how bad my illness is. So they'll say, where's your outfit? Come on, let's go dance. And when somebody says something like that to you, of course, it's like somebody challenging you to a basketball game. You're like, oh, all right, let's go. But up here, you want to go do it, but your body says no. So I've had people ask me, how do you cope with it? How does that make you feel? Doesn't that make you mad? I said, yeah, it does, but there's nothing I can do about it. But there is one thing I can do about the exposure to secondhand smoke. I can make people aware of it, what it can and will do to you. So that's what I'm doing.
Boy, it sure is nice to get back to work after this whole COVID-19 thing. Things are finally getting back to normal.
Things aren't normal yet.
That's weird. I swear I just heard...
I said it's not normal yet.
I'm sorry, are you...
Talking hand sanitizer? Yeah. You got a problem with that?
No, I
Squeeze me. Go ahead. I don't mind at all.
But
Come on, man. You've touched a lot of stuff on the way into the office. You need to sanitize your hands to keep safe from the COVID. Go on. Give me a squeeze.
I guess you got a point. Okay.
Hey! Not so hard.
Sorry. You told me to.
I'm just messing with you. I'm an inanimate object. You know I can't feel anything.
This isn't real. Clearly, I've been in self-isolation for far too long.
Hey, what's the matter with you? You gonna wipe me down with disinfectant wipes or what?
You're not real. You're not real. You're not real.
Oh, is that right? I guess you're an expert on talking doorknobs all of a sudden now, huh?
Well, I'm not.
That's right. You're not. Now grab some wipes from over there and wipe me down, would you?
This is ridiculous. This is completely ridiculous.
Ooh, yeah, that feels good.
No, I'm done.
What? Hey, where you going? It's not like that. I was just feeling a little dirty, that's all.
That's what I'm saying. We're done here. I've got work to do. You've been disinfected. Now please, just leave me alone.
All right, take it easy. I'm just trying to help stop the COVID, that's all.
Fine, whatever. There. That's better. Oh.
Hey! Come on. Keep your workplace safe from COVID-19. Clean and disinfect commonly touched surfaces. Use hand sanitizer and wash your hands often for at least 20 seconds using soap and water. For more information on staying safe in the workplace, visit coronavirus.gov.
Life during a global pandemic can be tricky to manage, especially for people with diabetes, as they're at higher risk for severe illness if infected by the coronavirus. That's why it's so important to prevent and prepare for infection. Here are some things for those with diabetes to keep in mind. Priority number 1, prevent coronavirus infection. Stay at least 6 feet from others. Cover your mouth and nose with a cloth face cover when out in public. Clean and disinfect commonly touched surfaces. Use hand sanitizer and wash your hands often with soap and water for 20 seconds. Priority number 2, take good care of your diabetes. Stay active and eat healthy foods every day. Take your medication and insulin as directed, and make sure you always have at least a 2-week supply on hand. Test your blood sugar every 4 hours and keep track of the results. Also, write down what you eat to learn how your blood sugar reacts to certain foods. Last but not least, be prepared in case you do get sick, not just from COVID-19, but from any illness. That means having enough prescription and over-the-counter medications and enough food and water and other essentials to last you up to 2 to 3 weeks if needed. For more information on COVID-19 prevention and preparation, visit coronavirus.gov.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. You sitting there. Do you want to win a $25 cash card by answering some questions about GoodHealthTV? Who doesn't? The first 100 people to take the survey will be winners. Visit bit.ly/GHTV survey right now. Yes, now.
Human beings are social creatures, so the reality of social distancing can be difficult. But just because we're at a distance away from each other doesn't mean we can't have connection. One way to stay connected is to call, FaceTime, or Skype our friends and family, especially the elderly, as they may feel even more isolated. Keep them company, ask them if they need anything from the store, or any errands run for them. Also talk to your neighbors, at a safe distance of course, and see if they need any chores done that you could help with, like yard work. Maybe they need a cup of sugar or flour. If you have what they need, offer to leave it outside their door so as to limit contact. Giving blood can be a great way to help your community. There's always a need for blood, and volunteer donors are the only way for those in need to get it. Speaking of volunteering, Explore online ways to help out virtually with your time, or maybe lending a hand with Meals on Wheels and delivering food. Or if you're able to, donating food or money to local food banks. Any small act can go a long way. Social distancing at this time is crucial for the health of our community, but that doesn't mean we need to isolate our compassion and care. Look out for and support others. Find a way to help. So, you just found out your A1C levels are high. What does that mean? And most importantly, what should you do about it? Let's take a quick look. The A1C is a simple blood test that measures your average blood sugar levels over the past 3 months and can help determine if you have type 2 diabetes or prediabetes. How does it work? The A1C test basically measures the percentage of sugar-coated red blood cells you've got flowing through your body. If A1C results were a stoplight, they might look something like this. Green means a normal level of below 5.7%. Yellow means you're in the pre-diabetes range between 5.7 and 6.4%. The higher you fall in that range, the more at risk for developing type 2 diabetes you are. Red means a level of 6.5% or above. If you currently have type 2 diabetes, the A1C test is also an important tool to help you and your healthcare team manage it. It's important to understand that the A1C doesn't replace regular blood sugar testing at home. Home tests show your change in blood sugar throughout the day, while A1C tests show your average over the last few months. Both are important. 2 people can have the same A1C level, one with steady blood sugar levels throughout the day, and the other with high and low swings. You might be wondering, now what? Well, you'll want to talk to your healthcare provider about that. They can help you create a plan to determine and achieve your specific A1C goal. If you've never had an A1C test, you should get one if you're over age 45, are overweight, or have a family history of type 2 diabetes. Talk to your healthcare provider for more information or visit cdc.gov/diabetes. We'll A1 see you later.
So how are you doing, Albert?
I'm okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
During our last session, you mentioned being concerned about COVID-19. Do you feel like talking about that?
Not really.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm just not really comfortable talking about my feelings and stuff.
I see. Well, maybe we can just...
Sing about them instead?
Yeah. We can do that. Did you have anything in mind?
Feelings are the things that make me feel things. I don't want to feel them 'cause I'm scared. What if someone notices my feelings? They can't judge me if they're unaware. So I stuff them feelings down inside where all the other feelings hide. And if you ask, I'll tell you I'm okay. Maybe it's just easier that way.
That was really good, Albert. You're making progress.
Thanks, I just...
It's okay to talk about your feelings. Hiding them can make you feel alone. There's no shame in talking about your feelings. It's good for mental health, as studies have shown. Don't stuff your feelings down inside. Let go of fear, let go of pride. It's okay to not feel okay. Just be sure to tell someone you feel this way.
Wow, I feel better already. Thanks.
My pleasure.
I really didn't think our session was going to burst into song like this.
It happens more than you think.
Really?
No.
Well, maybe we should...
Totally.
Let's sing a duet about
Alrighty then.
Same time next week?
Sounds good. Thank you.
My name is Amanda, and I smoked while I was pregnant. My baby was born 2 months early and weighed only 3 pounds. This is the view I had of her in the NICU. My tip to you is speak into the opening so your baby can hear you better.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Hey, my name's Zion. Tell me about yourself.
Hey Zion, I'm Stephanie Dakota. I'm a member of the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa Indians. I'm a mom, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, and an aunt. And I'm also a social worker.
What's a social worker do?
Well, there's a lot of different kinds of social workers. There's case managers who work with individuals or families or people with disabilities. There are community social workers who work with community needs. They advocate for people, they advocate for groups or a community as a whole. They might advocate for an LGBTQ2S population. There's just so many things you can do with social work, and it depends on what your passion is and who you want to work with and what you want to accomplish.
What keeps you doing social work?
Social work is part of me. As a tribal person, as a Native American, social work and our tribal values really align. And so I think I'm going to be doing social work my whole life because it's part of who I am. It's natural to me.
How did your career in social work begin?
I'm Native American and I lived on and off the reservation, so I understood 2 different styles of life, 2 different ways of living. And I knew that I wanted to help Native communities have access to all the same things that other communities had access to. And so that's where my career began. That's where my passion comes from, is helping my community have the very best that they can and be the best that they can be.
How can students in middle school start their path to a career in social work?
You might want to talk to a school counselor or an individual in your school that you trust, that you really like, that you can talk to about what opportunities there are.
Great information, Stephanie. Thanks for sharing it with me today. See ya!
This Billy Shakespeare guy's good. A bit wordy, but good. Bet this would be easier with official yoga pants. One, 2, 133, 134. Hey, stop, honey. Just get another set in. 139, 142. I'm a fraud. pot holder definitely helps. I know, I told that's not how a horseshoe works. I know. Yeah. Like they usually go like this, and then it's a sweater. I don't get it. This is ridiculous.
The COVID-19 vaccine is currently being distributed across the United States. While early distribution is focused on healthcare personnel such as hospital workers, long-term care staff, and emergency responders, the COVID-19 vaccine may also be available to others depending on your area. Here are a few things to consider in regards to the COVID-19 vaccine. First, 2 doses of the vaccine are needed. Depending on the specific vaccine you get, you will need to get a second shot 3 to 4 weeks after your first shot. Second, the COVID-19 vaccine will not make you sick with COVID-19. None of the COVID-19 vaccines contain the live virus that causes COVID-19. Rather, the vaccine focuses on teaching your immune system to recognize the virus to help your body build antibodies against it. Building antibodies can take several weeks, so it's important to continue taking precautions against getting sick after receiving the vaccine, such as washing your hands with soap and water, maintaining a distance of at least 6 feet from others, and wearing a mask. Third, COVID-19 vaccines may cause side effects in some people, such as feeling tired, sore muscles, and mild fever. These reactions mean the vaccine is working and do not mean you have COVID-19. And finally, 4. The COVID-19 vaccine is considered safe and is recommended for everyone, even if you've already had COVID-19. Talk to your healthcare provider to learn more.
Some games start out harmless. But even harmless games can spin out of control. Pretty soon, it's not just the chips you're betting. Pretty soon, your relationships, your job, your future, and your life are all put at risk. What are you willing to bet? Even when you win, you can still lose. If gambling is taking over your life, visit gamblersanonymous.org to get help.
I'm United States Surgeon General Jerome Adams, America's doctor. And all across our nation, We've taken steps together to slow the spread of coronavirus. Now we must continue to take personal responsibility to protect ourselves and our loved ones. Because even though not all of us risk a severe case of coronavirus, we all risk getting it and spreading it to others, maybe without even realizing that we're sick. So if we want to get back to school, back to work, back to worship, and back to overall health, there are things our country needs to do. We need to follow state and local guidelines, take extra precautions if at higher risk, wash our hands frequently, stay 6 feet from others when we can, and when we can't stay 6 feet from others, please, I'm begging you, wear a face covering. These small actions will make a big difference. So I'm asking you to say it with me, America. Coronavirus stops with me. You can learn more at coronavirus.gov.
Produced by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services at taxpayer expense.
Please be mindful of your neighbors during the COVID-19 outbreak. Agricultural burning, or backyard burning, also known as open burning, may worsen existing heart and lung conditions and have other harmful effects. Open burning produces smoke that contains air pollutants and can also lead to burns or fire-related injuries. It may also cause uncontrolled fires that can threaten your community. COVID-19 is a respiratory illness. Those who have or are recovering from COVID-19 are at a higher risk of lung and breathing problems when exposed to the smoke of open burning. As a result of COVID-19, firefighters and emergency services may be operating at reduced capacity, making it harder to respond to injuries. Work with your local health department to find out ways you can minimize the impact or the need for open burning in your community. For more information, visit cdc.gov/coronavirus and search open burning.
Each of our tribal nations are blessed with our own unique forms of beauty.
We unfortunately have one thing in common.
Opioid abuse is killing our people.
If you're struggling with an opioid addiction, you can overcome it.
Start by talking to someone, especially an addiction counselor, about getting help.
Let the strength of our ancestors guide your journey of healing through prayer and ceremony.
You are invaluable to our people.
The next generation looks up to you.
A better future for them starts with you.
Getting a COVID-19 vaccine will help prevent serious complications from COVID-19. And with the vaccine being distributed across the country, you may be wondering what to expect. You may have some side effects from the vaccination, but this is normal. It's just your body building protection against COVID-19. Some of the common side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, chills, fever, tiredness, and headache. These side effects are much like having the flu, but should go away in a few days. If you have pain or swelling at the injection site, use or exercise your arm and apply a clean, cool, wet washcloth over the area to reduce pain. If a fever is causing you discomfort, drink plenty of fluids and dress in light clothing. Talk to your healthcare provider if you have pain or discomfort from a fever. They may suggest an over-the-counter pain reliever like ibuprofen or acetaminophen. Discomfort or pain from a fever is normal, but if it reddens or tenderness gets worse after 24 hours, if your side effects are worrying you or they do not go away after a few days, call your healthcare provider. If you experience any difficulty breathing, swelling of your face or throat, fast heartbeat, or dizziness and weakness, call your healthcare provider immediately. After you get the vaccine, remember to get a second dose if one is required. Continue to wear a mask in public, avoid crowds, and stay 6 feet away from others and wash your hands often.
Babies are one of the greatest joys in life. Tragically, every year in the United States, thousands of babies die suddenly and unexpectedly. Sometimes these deaths happen from known causes that are often sleep-related. Other times, these deaths happen for unknown reasons, which is called Sudden Infant Death Syndrome, or SIDS. Unfortunately, American Indian and Alaskan Native babies are at higher risk for SIDS than other populations. The good news is there are several easy steps we can take as parents and caregivers to protect infants from SIDS and sleep-related death. Here are a few of the most important ones. First, your baby will sleep safest on their back until they're about 1 year old. Whether at nap time or night, make sure your infant falls asleep on their back. And if your baby rolls over on their own during sleep, it's okay. Don't be alarmed. There's no need to reposition your baby in this situation. Starting them on their back is the most important part. Here's another thing. Your baby's sleep surface and environment matter. Soft surfaces, heavy or warm blankets and toys, or soft objects in the crib can increase the risk of SIDS or suffocation. Instead, put your baby to sleep on a firm, flat mattress in a safety-approved crib covered by a fitted sheet and without toys or soft objects around. Instead of blankets, dress your baby in sleep clothing like a wearable blanket so they don't overheat. Some other quick tips for preventing SIDS includes sharing your room with your baby, at least for the first 6 months, but putting them to sleep on a separate surface, breastfeeding your baby if possible, not allowing smoke in your baby's environment, and giving your baby a pacifier for naps and nighttime. While there's no cure for SIDS and sleep-related infant deaths, following these recommendations will go a long way in honoring your baby's life by making them safer.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. You sitting there. Do you want to win a $25 cash card by answering some questions about Good Health TV? Who doesn't? The first 100 people to take the survey will be winners. Visit bit.ly/GHTV survey right now. Yes, now. If you have fully recovered from COVID-19, you may be able to help patients currently fighting the infection by donating your plasma. Because you fought the infection, your plasma now contains COVID-19 antibodies. These antibodies provided one way for your immune system to fight the virus when you were sick, so your plasma may be able to be used to help others fight off the disease. To be eligible to donate, you must have had a prior diagnosis of COVID-19 documented by a laboratory test and meet other donation criteria. You must also be symptom-free for between 14 and 28 days, depending on the donation center. The minimum age to donate in most states is 16 or 17. If you haven't had COVID-19, there are other ways to help. Consider donating blood. The COVID-19 pandemic has caused unprecedented challenges to the U.S. blood supply. Between social distancing and the cancellation of blood drives, blood donations have gone down dramatically. Donating your blood can provide life-saving treatments to those who need it most. In fact, one blood donation can save up to 3 lives. Contact your state health department to learn whether blood or plasma donation is an option in your area. For more information, visit fda.gov. Let's talk about HIV. It's a virus that attacks the immune system and is spread from one person to another through blood, semen, vaginal secretions, and breast milk. Anyone can get HIV, but some people are more at risk than others due to many factors, including the status of their sex partner, their behaviors, and prevalence in their communities. PrEP is a safe and highly effective medication that can reduce your risk of HIV. If you're at risk for HIV, it's time to make prevention a priority. Talk to your healthcare provider to find out if PrEP is right for you. Good Health TV is an educational health and wellness network made especially for Native American people. We're looking to hire freelance filmmakers, influencers, graphic artists, and health advocates to help us create new content. For more information, please email content@goodhealthtv.com.
Hey guys, I'm Mason, and guess what happened today? I went with my grandma to the clinic. I thought it was going to be boring, but it was awesome. Her doctor was super nice, and she let me follow her around while my grandma was with the healer. I saw her take care of someone's foot, teach somebody about diabetes, and even give a baby a shot without even making it cry. She knew so much stuff and made everyone feel better. She told me she wanted to be a doctor since she was my age. So she started taking a bunch of math and science classes, and they really helped. She even grew up on my res, just a few blocks away from my house. I guess she went away for college, but came back so she could help our tribe. And that's pretty cool. I love my family and friends, and if I could help them stay healthy someday, just like she does, that sounds pretty good to me. Well, gotta get back to it. Gotta focus. future doctor over here. See ya.
Smoking gave me COPD, which makes it harder and harder for me to breathe. I have a tip for you. If your doctor gives you 5 years to live, spend it talking with your grandchildren. Explain to them that your grandpa's not going to be around anymore to share his wisdom and his love. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. And I'm running out of time.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
In order to slow the spread of coronavirus, the CDC recommends the use of a cloth face covering. Don't have that crafty friend or relative to make one for you? No worries. We've got you covered. All you need is a sock and a few other household items to get started. That's right, a sock. Here's how to do it. First, gather your materials. You'll need a pair of sharp scissors and a clean cotton sock. An athletic sock works well, with a tight weave. You can also use a longer sock and cut off the top. Lay down the sock horizontally on a flat surface. Using your scissors, cut the sock in half between the toe and the heel. Remove the half with the toe and discard. Turn the sock vertically so the cut end is at the top and the heel to your left. Make another cut on the right side from the ankle opening to the cut end of the sock. Fold the sock in half. At about 1/2 inch from the edge, cut a 1/2 to 1 inch slit starting from the fold. Do not cut all the way through the sock. Open up the fabric. For extra protection, place a folded piece of fabric like t-shirt material or cotton cloth in the nose and mouth area. To put on the mask, stretch the loops over your ears. Make sure it fits snugly over your nose and mouth and that you can breathe freely. Don't forget to wash your hands before you put on the mask and after you remove it. Last but not least, launder your mask frequently, ideally after every use. And there you have it, a quick and easy way to make a cloth face covering for you and your loved ones. For more information on ways to keep you and your family safe during the COVID-19 pandemic, visit cdc.gov/coronavirus.
According to the CDC, pregnant people might be at an increased risk for severe illness from COVID-19 compared to non-pregnant people. Additionally, there may be an increased risk of adverse pregnancy outcomes such as preterm birth among pregnant people with COVID-19. If you are pregnant, be mindful about reducing your risk of getting sick. Limit your interactions with other people as much as possible, and take precautions to prevent COVID-19 when you do interact with others, such as maintaining a distance of 6 feet and wearing a cloth face covering. In addition to preventing illness, there are other things to consider when it comes to COVID-19 and pregnancy. Do not skip prenatal appointments, make sure to have at least a 30-day supply of medicines on hand, and continue getting recommended vaccines. Talk to your healthcare provider if you have any questions about your health or the health of your baby. Call 911 immediately if you have a medical emergency. For more information on COVID-19, visit cdc.gov/coronavirus.
Hello everyone and welcome to Good Health TV News. I'm your host, Joe Creelbad. Today's top stories. The COVID-19 pandemic has been especially hard on Native American people. However, there has been some good to come out of it. Dan Simmons, Stephanie Hebert, and Whitney Rencounter founded the movement known as the Social Distance Powwow. Since forming in March of 2020, the Facebook group alone has grown to near 250,000 members. SDP's mission is to foster a space for community and cultural preservation and to retain cultural knowledge through Indigenous songs, dance, and art. The SDP Facebook page is loaded with photos and videos of Native people, young and old, in their regalia, dancing, singing songs, and sharing their art and perspectives with members of the Indigenous community from all across the world.
Just another example of our people's amazing resilience in action. You can find the group on Facebook by searching Social Distance Powwow. And for those of you looking for love out there, I hear there's plenty of aunties and uncles to go around. Wow. A recent survey conducted by the Urban Indian Health Institute shows that approximately 75% of Native Americans are in fact willing to receive a COVID-19 vaccination. The primary motivation for this willingness comes from a strong sense of personal responsibility to protect the Native community and preserve cultural ways. Personally, I'm excited to get the COVID vaccination because I know that doing so will protect my circle, especially our elders. Now, will someone please explain that to the grandma who threw me on the ground for trying to cut in line? She wasn't having any of my excuses. March is National Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and Native people are one of the ethnicities at highest risk in the United States. If you're aged 50 to 75, it's recommended that you get screened, especially if you have a history of inflammatory bowel disease or a family history of colon cancer. You can lower your risk for colon cancer and other types of cancer through regular physical activity, maintaining a healthy weight, avoiding tobacco and alcohol, and eating a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. Treatment for cancer has its best chance at success if discovered early. Talk to your healthcare provider or visit cdc.gov/cancer for more information. And that does it for our stories today. On behalf of Good Health TV News, I'm your host, Joe Creelbad. Remember, we feel bad if you don't feel good. We'll see you next time. You can replace that with the real music. Yeah. One more twirl? Yeah. I'm not going to do that anymore. That's enough. How do you get nauseous after 2 twirls? Yeah, I have to sit down.
Hello and welcome back to the Native Home Network. I'm your host Lucy, and filling in today for my co-host Barry is my cousin Harrison. He's just a little shy. It's okay, buddy. You can do it. It's okay. I'll just do your parts until you're ready. In this segment, we are here to tell you about an exciting new item, the Men's Health Healthy Basket of Awesome. That's right, Harrison. Making healthy lifestyle choices is a way to take action against negative health risks, and this basket is a great start. It's your turn. Whoa. Come on, buddy. Only dogs heard that. Try again. You got this. Whoa, that was, I don't even, should I just do your parts until you compose yourself? Okay. A nutritional diet and maintaining a healthy weight can significantly lower your risk of heart disease as well as many types of cancer. Excellent point, Harrison. While nutrition and exercise are a good start, they are not the only things to improve men's health. You are so right, Lucy. On that note, let's bring out our guest, Dr. Meneth. Thanks for coming onto the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
He's usually a chatterbox, but put a camera in front of him and he freezes up like a raccoon in floodlights.
That's okay. Maybe I can help. Would you like to try my stethoscope?
Okay, Harrison, then you have to ask the question that's on the script.
What are some other things you can tell us about men's health?
Well done, Harrison. Here you go. Besides nutrition and maintaining a healthy weight, exercise can lower your risk of heart disease and stroke. The best thing is to choose an activity you enjoy. Limit how much alcohol you drink. Too much alcohol can increase the risk of liver cancer, heart attack, and raise your blood pressure. And don't smoke. If you do smoke, talk to your healthcare provider or doctor to help you quit. Also, see your healthcare provider regularly. Don't wait until something is seriously wrong.
That's really great advice, Doctor. Thank you so much for coming in today.
My pleasure.
Bye. Ow. That hurt my ears. I don't want to play with these anymore.
All right. That was Men's Health Healthy Basket of Awesome. Call now because they're going quick. Do you need help getting up?
I'm fine down here, thank you.
So now you can talk?
Yes, I find being off camera much more conducive to having a spirited and engaging conversation, as I tend to get a level of anxiety that causes my vocal cords to seize up.
Your mind fascinates me. This is not a real product, nor a real phone number. Don't call. You can't buy this stuff. Well, you can buy this stuff, just not from us.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. You sitting there. Do you want to win a $25 cash card by answering some questions about Good Health TV? Who doesn't? The first 100 people to take the survey will be winners. Visit bit.ly/GHTV survey right now. Yes, now.
Fruits of the Spirit. Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 to 23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such there is no law.
Of all of the fruits of the Spirit, true peace may be the hardest to achieve. You may carry wounds of the past, or your present life may be filled with struggle. To achieve peace in spite of circumstances, you must have hope. For many, hope comes from a belief that there is a power greater than ourselves. We have hope because we believe that our Creator can transform brokenness into beauty and use all things for good. Try to see your life as the wondrous gift it is to the world and to those around you. Find hope in the promise of your future and ask the Creator for peace in your heart today.
Hey, my name's Zion. Tell me about yourself.
Hi, Zion. My name is Vinny. I'm an enrolled member with the Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikaraw Nation, and I also work for the Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikaraw Nation. I have two current positions. One, I work at a child safety center, and two, I work in the evenings at our local community college teaching social work classes.
What types of social workers are there?
Well, there's lots of different social workers and different social worker positions and roles. You could work in the medical field, you can work in the education field, you can work with children and families, you can work with elderly, you can work in hospitals, anywhere, any kind of medical field you can think of, there's social workers needed to work with people.
How did your career in social work begin?
When I was younger, when I think about middle school and high school years, I saw professionals or adults, that were doing these jobs, and I always imagined that none of these jobs are going to be available when I'm older. Why would I want to go for that? I had dreams of, playing basketball as a professional goal of mine. Like I wanted to be like Michael Jordan, I wanted to follow those footsteps. I mean, we get older and we start, developing ourselves as a person, and you kind of realize that these goals are achievable, and some of the things that you do in your everyday life are already kind of at a core value of social work.
How can students in middle school start their path to a career in social work?
first and foremost, I think students that are thinking about their future and thinking about social work are awesome people already. Going into the field of social work is by no means a walk in the park. It's not easy, but it is rewarding. It is already something kids are doing, networking and advocating for their friends and family.
Great information, Vinny. Thanks for sharing with me. See ya.
Did you know how important food is to our bodies? Think of it as fuel. We need to fill our food tanks often to keep our bodies moving. How do we do that? By eating regular meals. Eating regularly during the day keeps your energy levels up. Skipping meals can make you feel tired or sluggish. Eating regular meals also keeps blood sugar levels stable and your metabolism healthy. Metabolism is a bunch of chemical reactions in your cells that converts food into energy. A healthy metabolism helps you use the food you eat instead of storing it away as fat. So how often should you eat a day? Just one big meal a day isn't enough. Your body needs 3 full meals a day, or 6 smaller meals every couple hours. Need help making that happen? Plan your meals ahead of time. Another way to get your nutrition for the day is by snacking on foods packed with protein, like peanut butter, yogurt, or eggs. If you have access to them, high-protein shakes are also a good option. So there you have it. Your body needs food to keep going. Remember to feed it regularly.
Masks help prevent the spread of COVID-19 and are recommended for people aged 2 and older. Before putting on your mask, be sure to wash your hands or use hand sanitizer. Put the mask over your nose and mouth and secure it under your chin. Fit the mask snugly against the sides of your face, slipping the loops over your ears or tying the strings behind your head. If you have to continually adjust your mask, it doesn't fit properly, and you might need to find a different mask type or brand. It's important to keep a spare mask to replace one that becomes wet from moisture in your breath, snow, or rain. Wet masks are harder to breathe through and less efficient at filtering. When taking off your mask, untie the strings behind your head or stretch the ear loops. Do not touch the mask itself, and be careful not to touch your eyes, nose, and mouth. Fold the outside corners together and dispose of the mask immediately, unless the mask is reusable, in which case you should place the mask in the washing machine. After removing the mask, wash your hands immediately. For more information on preventing the spread of COVID-19, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19.
I decided to quit because my son, Nicholas, wrote me a letter when he was about 11 years old. He wrote me a letter and left it on the kitchen table for me to read. And once I saw it, I felt really badly because I knew it was affecting him, and he knew that smoking was bad for you. So he wrote it when he was 11. It says, "Dear Mom, smoking. Thank you, Mom, for quitting smoking. I know you can do it. It is a hard thing to do, but smoking kills you. So you are saving your life. I'm lucky to have parents like you and Daddy, because maybe other parents would probably say, oh, he's just a kid. But you are the best mom in the world. Don't smoke." And then he drew a little something, which was cute. It's me smoking, and then that's like before and after, and that's a dead me. That's him crying because he was afraid that I was going to die. And I made copies of it, and I keep it everywhere. Obviously I keep this one in my wallet, and I keep some at my desk, and I have them at home on my refrigerator, so it's like everywhere. My son is really proud that I quit smoking. He thinks it's the best thing I've ever done, and he thanked me for it. I think I'm being a good role model now.
almost do anything to get myself prescription opioids. I'm from Naknek, Alaska. I remember the day that everything changed for me in treatment. To be able to heal with your own people, I think it was the best day of my life. There is hope. Just don't give up.
Visit cdc.gov/rxawareness or contact your local health provider.
As Indigenous people, we should never feel ashamed or shame someone else for talking about HIV. Instead, let's empower and celebrate one another for taking control of our health. That includes talking about PrEP. For those of us at risk, PrEP is a safe and highly effective once-a-day medication to help prevent HIV. Let's make the stigma surrounding HIV a thing of the past. If you know someone who would benefit from PrEP, encourage them to talk to their healthcare provider for more information. This project is made possible through the Minority HIV/AIDS Fund. Hey, you. Yeah, you. You sitting there. Do you want to win a $25 cash card by answering some questions about Good Health TV? Who doesn't? The first 100 people to take the survey will be winners. Visit bit.ly/GHTV survey right now. Yes, now. Stress can come from many places, from your job, your family, the news, and the world around you. While we can't always control what happens around us, we can control how we respond to it by prioritizing our mental health. One way to protect your mental health is by limiting how much you watch the news or look at social media feeds. It's important to take breaks from both and be present in what's happening around you. Another way to care for your mind is to care for your body too. Meditate, pray, stretch. Find time to find peace in each day. Also, eat healthy, exercise in some way every day, and stay away from things that can make stress worse like drugs and alcohol. Do what makes you happy. Find an activity you truly enjoy and make time to actually do it. Maybe take up painting or finish that project, or learn a new language. Anything to engage your mind in productive activities. One of the most important things you can do for your mental health is to take care of others. Humans were made to have community with others, and we thrive when we help each other, especially during stressful or trying times. Call people who might be lonely. Ask your neighbor if you can pick up groceries for them. Pay for someone's meal or mow your neighbor's lawn. When we help others, we help our minds more than ever. And finally, don't deny your thoughts and feelings. It's okay to not be okay. So talk about your feelings with someone you trust, and then put them in their proper place in your life versus dwelling on them.
Much is known about the dangers of the wild, from the venomous fangs of a deadly snake to the ferocious claws of a grizzly bear. But for this species of young domestic humans, far more formidable dangers lie silently in wait. This is the predator known as Avoidus algebraeus, commonly known as algebra homework. Watch as it silently stalks its prey from a distance. Upon noticing the threat, the young human quickly adapts its behavior, remaining completely still for what could be several days in order to avoid potential conflict. We're witnessing a classic standoff between the hunter and the hunted. With every hour that passes, the young human grows more and more nervous. Confrontation is inevitable. What's this? The human lashes out against a predatory pile of math problems, tackling them without fear. The pile of books easily succumbs to the attack as if it were completely inanimate to begin with. Armed with only a number 2 pencil and some self-discipline, the human viciously carves through page after page, problem after problem, ultimately slaying all 4 algebra problems. Wait, what? You mean you waited 3 days to tackle math problems that took you 15 minutes to solve? Really? You could have just gotten it out of the way and enjoyed your free time, but instead you lived in dread. All right, let's look at it like a math problem. Responsibility minus procrastination equals improved mental state. Shoot, I forgot my accent. Oh, crikey! Look at what procrastination has done. Stop being ridiculous, mate. Don't delay. Get it done. Solve your problems. Finish your tasks. It's good for your mental health. Now that's a fact. All right then. Back to freedom you go. Kids these days. Well, time to get me taxes done. They're due, let's see, tomorrow. Right.
Each of our tribal nations are blessed with our own unique forms of beauty.
We unfortunately have one thing in common.
Opioid abuse is killing our people.
If you have a family member who's struggling with an opioid addiction, reach out to them.
Remind them of how valuable they are, how much they are loved, and that they are never alone.
Remind them that the guidance of our ancestors is always available through prayer and ceremony.
Most importantly, remind them that there is no shame in getting professional help.
Healing is beautiful and possible. It's easier when we're not alone.
When you smoke, it affects more than just your health. I love to dance. That's something that I handed down to my family. I was pretty good at it too, before my doctor told me that secondhand smoke at work caused me to have asthma attacks, infections, and lung damage, and I never smoked.
If you or someone you know wants free help to quit smoking, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Hey, my name's Zion. Tell me about yourself.
Hey Zion, I'm Stephanie Dakota. I'm a member of the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa Indians. I'm a mom, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, and an aunt. And I'm also a social worker.
What's a social worker do?
Well, there's a lot of different kinds of social workers. There's case managers who work with individuals or families or people with disabilities. There are community social workers who work with community needs. They advocate for people, they advocate for groups or a community as a whole. They might advocate for an LGBTQ2S population. There's just so many things you can do with social work, and it depends on what your passion is and who you want to work with and what you want to accomplish.
What keeps you doing social work?
Social work is part of me. As a tribal person, as a Native American, social work and our tribal values really align. And so I think I'm going to be doing social work my whole life because it's part of who I am. It's natural to me.
How did your career in social work begin?
I'm Native American and I lived on and off the reservation, so I understood 2 different styles of life, 2 different ways of living. And I knew that I wanted to help Native communities have access to all the same things that other communities had access to. And so that's where my career began. That's where my passion comes from, is helping my community have the very best that they can and be the best that they can be.
How can students in middle school start their path to a career in social work?
You might want to talk to a school counselor or an individual in your school that you trust, that you really like, that you can talk to about what opportunities there are.
Great information, Stephanie. Thanks for sharing it with me today. See ya!
anyone feel like talking about chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, genital herpes, or HIV? It may be a little uncomfortable, but it's incredibly important that we normalize conversations about sexually transmitted diseases, also known as STDs. That's because every year, there are around 20 million new STD infections in the United States. Anyone who is sexually active can get an STD. You can also have an STD and not even know it, as many STDs don't have symptoms. This is dangerous because STDs can cause serious health problems if left untreated. The good news is that STDs are preventable. Having fewer partners, using condoms, and knowing the status of your partner can all reduce your risk. Many STDs are curable and all are treatable, but the only way to know for sure if you have an STD is to get tested. Talk to your partner about STDs, know your status, and get tested. Learn more at cdc.gov/STD.
People with confirmed or suspected COVID-19 that do not need to be hospitalized should remain under home isolation precautions until the risk of transmission is thought to be low. For those infected or potentially infected with COVID-19, the following steps can help prevent the disease from spreading. 1. Stay at home except to get medical care. Do not go to work, school, or public areas. 2. Separate yourself from other people and animals in your home, with a separate room and bathroom if possible. 3. Call ahead before visiting your healthcare provider to let them know you have or may have COVID-19 so they can take precautions to keep others from getting infected. 4. Cover your coughs and sneezes with a tissue. Throw used tissues in a lined trash can and wash your hands immediately. 5. Wear a respiratory face mask when around other people or when entering a healthcare facility. 6. Clean your hands often. Wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, especially after blowing your nose, coughing, or sneezing. 7. Avoid sharing personal household items like dishes, drinking glasses, towels, or bedding. 8. Clean all commonly touched surfaces every day, such as counters, tabletops, doorknobs, cell phones, computer keyboards, and tablets. For more information, talk to your healthcare provider or visit cdc.gov/coronavirus.
Are you an Indigenous filmmaker? We've been looking for you. Who are we? We're GoodHealthTV, an educational health and wellness network made especially for Native American people. We aim to create entertaining and engaging, culturally reflective videos designed to empower our viewers with the knowledge needed to improve their health and the wellness of their communities. If you're interested in learning more or have a project in mind, all you have to do is send an email to content@goodhealthtv.com. Again, that's content@goodhealthtv.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Opiate addiction is not a moral problem or lack of will. It is a disease. We need to protect our people and our tribal communities from this disease. Protection starts with prevention. Culture is prevention. Strong families and communities are prevention. And education is prevention. Heroin, morphine, and other prescribed pain medications such as Vicodin, Percocet, and oxycodone are considered opiates and have been used for pain relief for a long time. People who are prescribed opiates can develop tolerance to them, resulting in the need for increased doses to get the same pain relief. This can lead to misuse and abuse, resulting in a higher risk of opiate dependence and overdose. This dependence happens when a person tries to stop using opiates but has withdrawal symptoms. These symptoms feel like the worst flu imaginable: nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, shaking, muscle pain, chills, fever, and agitation. Often these symptoms are what cause continued use of opiates or heroin, no matter the cost. As prescription opiates become more difficult to obtain, people turn to drugs that are cheaper and easier to get and easier to become addicted to, such as heroin. The Indian Health Service works to promote safe and effective therapies to help patients and providers optimally manage pain and stop the inappropriate use of pain medications. There is a medication called naloxone that can reverse an overdose. We are working to increase access and awareness of naloxone and educate people on how to use this life-saving medication. Our people are strong. We can come together to prevent and treat this epidemic and heal our communities.